The Mass Stack NT from BSN. Available now.
This is Dave Palumbo with RxMuscle.com. I'm here at the 2010 Arnold Classic. I'm here with Strongman winner 2 times, Derek Poundstone. You did it again.
Yeah, it was a battle, as always. It's never easy.
You were leading going into the last event against one of your main arch nemesis, Zydrunas Savickas. You were winning by 3 points, correct?
Yes.
They changed the last event. Last year it was the dumbbell press, something that you're, fantastic at, and that you pulled out the win last year in this event. What would you call the event you did running with the thing?
It's called the Giant Timber Carry. As you guys know, it's a ramp that's a slight incline. Well, more than a slight incline. It's kind of an incline that goes up, and the timbers. It's a big sort of frame. You stand and weighs 1,000. This year weighed 1,003 pounds. So it was. Probably one of the most brutal events you can imagine.
When you saw Savickas drag that thing up there 10 seconds, were you concerned that you might not be able to beat him?
No, as everyone's going, I sort of always wish everyone the best of luck. I don't want to see anyone get injured, but I knew that Zydrunas is probably, one of the most consistent strongmen, ever in the sport. That being said, I knew he was going to have a good performance. I didn't need to beat him necessarily. I just need to stay within 2 points of him. But obviously to beat him would make it that much easier. So I won't have to do math to figure out if I won.
When you started running with it and I heard the audience cheering, my adrenaline was pumping. Does that help you? And does that help you, go faster?
Absolutely. I'm not sure if you got videos, but there's a million videos online. It's such a hard event that when people cheer, it's surreal. I mean, I'm living like every boyhood fantasy. I get to compete in front of a big crowd of people. I mean, so it definitely gets you going. And I won by less than a second. So I mean, every little bit helps, and it was unbelievable.
You look like you were going faster as you were getting up that hill.
Well, that's the thing. You have to balance, being too aggressive because a lot of guys will start to drop it. You saw Brian Shaw. He was taking real big steps. His grip didn't go. We're strapped in that sucker, So his steps was a little too big, and that's what caused him to collapse. He was being aggressive. He knew that in order to win the event, because he still could have won. He was like 5 points out, 6 points out. So if all of us, all the top 5 guys took towards the end, and he won, he could have came home with the check and everything. So
when Governor Schwarzenegger asked you, how do you prepare for running with 1,000 pounds, your answer was great. Repeat it.
I just run with 1,000 pounds. I mean, it sounds dumb, but that's what I did. 2 weeks ago, I actually was training in the snow. There's a video online. We have a YouTube account. I'm not sure if your fans know, but it's KNelly19, my girlfriend's. But you go to the channel, it's it says my name all over it. We got about 150 videos with a couple million views. And I have a training teaser where I'm running about 60 feet with 1,100 pounds in a blizzard up in Connecticut. So
doesn't get any harder than that.
I train like an animal. I mean, and this is why. For obviously for the viewers, for the audience. I mean, I sure as hell don't do it for myself, because if no one was watching, I'd just be like, screw that. I'm just gonna slice meat or something for a living.
And this is the first event of the Triple Crown. The Fortissimus being the second event, the third being World's Strongest Man. Do you feel like you have very good momentum going into 2010 with the possibility of winning all 3?
Well, I'll sort of compare it to bodybuilding. You know how a guy will do pretty well. I've been in the sport for years. Sometimes you just hit a point where you can't get any better, and then you have to sort of restructure everything. You have to revamp everything. I was doing really good the last couple of years, but I got about as much out of my training as I could. I had to revamp it, and obviously for the better. After Worlds, I took 4th, a very poor performance for myself. It's the second time I've taken 4th place out of 30 some odd shows I've done. This is the 30th competition I've done. I've placed top 3 in 26 of those. I've won something like 20, 15 or 18. I'm off slightly, but what I found, I revamped my training totally. I mean, and
that's what you think the change of the outcome was?
Oh, absolutely. I last year my max deadlift was at the event here was 961. This year I pulled 1016. A
lot of weight.
Last year I did the dumbbell 15 reps, 202. This year I toyed with it, got 11 reps. I could have done 15 reps with 227. So I mean, I trained and I got significantly stronger. And the number one thing that I learned was I had to instead of training and trying to hit the weights in the gym all the time, I actually just started recovering more, started being more scientific about it, and stop being such an idiot about the training. You know, like before it was like nervous training. I'd hit the weight in the gym constantly, so I felt comfortable doing it. Now I had to put faith in my training and know that it was more of a scientific.
Less is better.
Yeah, it's not just less is better, but it was all. It took literally 4 or 5 guys. That we all looked at my training and we put together a routine. We're talking some of the best powerlifters in the world, some of the best strongmen in the world, and we all sort of looked at it and sort of able to revamp it.
The biggest surprise of the evening was, at least to me, was when you got down on one knee and you proposed to your girlfriend, who might be more emotional than you when you compete. Were you planning that the whole time?
Well, I'm not sure you realize you've been here the last couple of years.
She's always hysterically crying watching you.
Well, we've been together for just over 2 years, and as I said out on stage, I really couldn't do this without the support of my family.
The performance just out.
It was the year my brother comes a couple of
really top to bottom.
with me. She sees it day in, day out.
Good one. So, in order to very good performance overall, and it just that we're at.
Stay over here.
It's pretty
here with the former girlfriend of champion Derek Poundstone. Former,
and you got to try to stay with it.
He got down on one knee and he asked me to marry him.
Now, did you think that was corny or romantic?
It was probably the best moment of my life.
And you immediately said,
hell friggin' yeah.
A lot of us thought you should have said, well, I don't know, I need to think about it. This is a very selfish sport. You got to do a lot of cooking. He's very high maintenance.
Yeah, he is. But I enjoy what I do, and I enjoy supporting him. And we're a team. We don't look at it as just helping him. It's us together.
That's really refreshing for a lot of us to see, because, as I said, this is a very selfish endeavor. Either powerlifting, strongman, bodybuilding. It's all about me. And to see a team, endeavor that you guys put out there, and we've seen you for years being a tremendous supporter of Derek. What got you interested in to be able to be a team like that and to stick with them and create and provide so much motivation and support for him?
Well, when I saw Derek first compete, where we first met, it really inspired me to begin with, just watching him compete. And then him bringing me to the gym and helping me out and giving me pointers and supporting me, I saw what he was doing for me, and I would do the same to him, giving feedback. And we just worked well together. We blended. I don't look at it as him just going to competitions and winning money and doing it for himself. He does so much for me, too. And that's the behind the scenes that people don't see. So I get a lot of credit for what I do, but he doesn't get a lot of credit for what he does. And he is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And he's the most supportive guy I've ever met.
You're going to make Dave Palumbo cry again.
In here, and I wanted to win. Me personally, going to show.
Obviously.
Otherwise,
just a little over 2 years.
Because
point, he was going to ask you to.
Nice.
Yeah, he knew that if he didn't do it within 6 months, I was going to kick his ass, literally.
In that.
I was just going to ask you that. Now, if he had lost and he had gotten down on one knee, if he was like third down the line, would your answer have been the same?
Yeah, of course. But why are you doing that on stage? Just do it backstage.
Yeah, you had no right to do it on stage in 4th place. All right. We want to wish, from all of us at RX Muscle and everybody out there in TV land, we want to wish you guys the very best. And you're inviting us to the wedding, right?
Yeah, we're just going to be open bar.
We're going to film it for you guys. You don't hire a videographer. We'll take care of it for you.
All right.
All right, for Dave Palumbo and the Happy Couple, I'm John Romano, rxmuscle.com.